Welcome, 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 you guys. EB Crypto, Family Cash Machine, follow the money. How you guys doing today? It's a Wednesday, and it's a lot going on in the world. A whole lot going on with the war in Ukraine, with Russia, inflation going up. I mean, incredibly. I called it 2-3 years ago. I told you guys maybe 3-4 years ago that inflation was getting ready to soar, and a lot of it is due to fiat currency and printing money, and the $7-8 trillion has been added to the debt during the crisis of the pandemic or whatever, and the relief or the stimulus that has resulted from that pandemic was just basically printing of money, and printing money always causes more problems. So this is why I ask you guys to join and subscribe to this channel. Not only like and subscribe to this channel, but take the opportunity to take a class in crypto. Take the opportunity to learn about money. As I engage more and more in conversation with more people outside the crypto and inside the crypto, I'm realizing there's so many people inside the crypto industry that still don't quite understand money, don't understand value. They don't understand supply and demand even. And so that's a huge loophole in your education. But I want to say that I'm so thankful for Richard Hart, Pulsechain, and Hex, as well as his invention Pulsex. And most of you guys have never heard me speak this, because the Family Cash Machine, we started off as our own educational platform, and we're still our own educational platform, to teach people more about money, not the debt money that they teach you, but real money, real assets, real value, and the real global economy and how it really works, because it's very imperative that you learn that. But I wanted to talk about Richard Hart, who I believe is a multi-billionaire, and is already responsible for creating so many successful people. And he's done a lot of philanthropic work. He's actually donated over $27 million in the last few months to charity, not just to charity, but to the research of cancer, which benefits everybody. And he's just been doing some amazing things. Now, I think that Hex is the litmus test for those in cryptocurrency. This gentleman is under so much scrutiny, so much haterism. It's not even funny how much they hate this guy. Now, I remember when he was first talking about 2 years ago, starting this coin called Hex. I remember his debates that he had and with several individuals, and everything he was saying, I was like, this guy's on point, because I understand the premise and foundation of what cryptocurrency is about. I understand what it was made for. I understand the alternatives and how it allows the freedom of people and transactions and value and money. And so I understood all of that, the privacy and the things that really were the undergirding principles of why cryptocurrency was created. But I'm not going to take a lot of time. I want to really thoroughly do like a reaction to his debate that he just recently had with some Bitcoiners. And a little history about myself. I started off as a Bitcoiner. I started off when Bitcoin was $250, right after the Mt. Gox thing. I started in Bitcoin, didn't really know a lot. I come from a background of trading currencies, still didn't understand money like I do now. I came from a background of real estate appraising. I understand value and what creates value, what makes value, and the different derivatives or characteristics that can create value or destroy value. So I understand that. I understood some of the machinations behind securities and stuff like that. But the cryptocurrency journey has taken my knowledge and taken me to a whole nother level and another stratosphere when it comes to economics, when it comes to the people, when it comes to governments even. I've even learned more in relation to those subjects. Richard Hart, I gotta put him to the forefront. I'm so thankful that I found Hex, Pulse, and Pulsex. And I've never talked about it on my channel. You guys are going to start hearing a lot about it, because I'm going to be basically all of our students that are coming in, I'm going to be advising them to be in Hex, Pulse, or want to, be a part of this revolutionary journey in cryptocurrency, because there's some historical things going on with Richard Hart. There's some historical things. In fact, he's created the first pretty much CD online, not online, but CD on the blockchain, excuse me. And, he created that from the Ethereum blockchain, his own coin called Hex. And I remember when he first started talking about it, and, I didn't really fully grasp it all the way. I thought it was just something that they were just going around, just giving free Hex to those that had Bitcoin, or they were claiming their Hex from their Bitcoin wallets. I understood that part, but I had no idea of what it is today. Now I've been a part of it for about a year. I took that leap into the Hex. I purchased some Hex and I staked it, some 6 months, some 1 year stakes. Now I got several 15-year stakes, and I'm staking for my children, future, and we're on some generational wealth stuff right now, because these coins staked for 15 years, of course, they're not for me, they're for my children, but it's pretty much securing wealth for your children in a trust that's basically on the blockchain, that's decentralized. Wow. They can't be confiscated. How about that? And it's programmed to grow in value. So I'm going to go ahead into this interview. I want to point out some things. I've watched this man since he started. I didn't follow Hex every day. I saw when he first talked about creating a coin. I fell back, and then for some reason, I took a couple of losses last year, and I found Hex. Actually, my programmer brought it to my attention, Mr. Dave Lyons. Shout out to Dave Lyons. He brought it to our team. We started investigating it, and the dynamics of Hex were just phenomenal, what it was doing. And at the time when I found it, it had already created hundreds, if not thousands, of millionaires, or very, very, very successful people who just had huge, huge returns, something like 10,000x. Wow, 1,000,000%. 1,000,000%. So in the last 2 years, Hex has outperformed Bitcoin, has outperformed Ethereum. Now, not as far as price. I don't want you to say, well, it's not as 40,000. It's not at 3,000, 4,000, but percentage-wise, if you were to put $100 in each one of those I just named, Bitcoin, Hex, and Ethereum, you would have made much more percentage in Hex than either one of the other two. Without a doubt. The graphs are the graphs, the numbers are the numbers. So congratulations to Richard Hart. Congratulations to the Hexicans. I'm a proud Hexican. I'm also a proud Pulsechain. I'm definitely on board with Pulse. I purchased quite a bit. I sacrificed until it hurt. My team members, those that are really close to me in my circle, I've gotten about 30 or 40 people from our students in Hex and Pulse, and also in Pulsex, and we're just sitting there waiting. And a lot of individuals that are in the Family Cash Machine who might have missed out, you still can get in position with Pulsechain to watch what's coming out on that blockchain, to see what's going to develop, because I have a feeling it's going to do what Ethereum did, if not more. And there's going to be so many different projects that's going to be developed and launched on the Pulsechain, and you have an opportunity to sit back and watch and pick and choose which projects you want to be a part of. Imagine if you guys back in 2013, 14 were understanding this industry and got a part and became a part of Ethereum and sat back and was able to get these different ICOs as they were launching on Ethereum. Do you realize how much money you would have right now? You would be, if not hundreds of millions, billions of dollars, because there are so many powerful projects that launched on Ethereum that coins blew up, those companies blew up, and you would have had the opportunity to engage with them with pennies on a dollar. And now some of those coins are $200, $300, $400, $1,000. So again, there's over, I think, 9,000, 10,000 different crypto projects on Ethereum. And if you would just have been able to participate in 100 of them, with $100 here, $100 there, you could have amassed a huge wealth right now. And that's where we're at in this industry. And I'm going to take the time to kind of like do a reaction. I'm not going to show the whole video. I'm going to show maybe 10 minutes of the video. And I want to just touch on certain points because I watched the whole 2-hour debate with Richard Hart and these three guys from Bitcoin. And Richard Hart started off as a Bitcoin maximist. He was able to he'll tell you, I'm going to play the part where he shows he was mining Bitcoin on his computer when it first started. And I believe he owns a tremendous amount of Ethereum. I'm not going to put his business out there because he doesn't talk his economic business, but we do believe he's a multi-billionaire. He was actually a multi-millionaire, retired at 25 years old. He ran several businesses, multi-million-dollar companies. And since he's been in this industry, he's done a tremendous amount of assistance and support and help for those who've been getting wrecked in this industry. He's been there to help. And it just bothers me when they call him a scammer and stuff like that, because, in order to scam, you have to have a victim. Where are the victims? I don't see any victims. Where's the scammed victims? This guy has made several people a lot of money. And it's just sad that they try to make him a villain and they try to make him a bad guy because they're just jealous. It's just, that's the only way I can see it, is they're just jealous. So let me go ahead and play this video. And we're going to go ahead and do a reaction to it. And I want you guys to follow me. And let me share my screen right now. And we'll go ahead and just listen to her. And I'm going to be stopping. If you want to watch the whole video is 2 hours. I'm not going to go through that whole video. I have a 10-minute splice of that video that we're going to watch. And I'm going to certain points that I want to make known to you guys who, again, know of Richard Hart, know of Hex Pulsechain. And if you don't, you need to start learning this, because this is where a lot of money is going to be made. Okay, let's go ahead and start.
Bitcoin, a bunch of venture capitalists and scumbags. But you think it's the fucking, we're going to save politics with this shit.
I'm not.
Let me tell you who owns Bitcoin.
At least I don't think I'm a scumbag. But
you know who just drove the price up of Bitcoin over the last week? I do. Do you know who? It's a single guy.
Fuck, it doesn't matter. It's a market.
It doesn't matter who drove the price of Bitcoin up?
No,
I thought you wanted to promote Bitcoin. How are you going to promote?
Okay, now, you see that? We starting off sketchy.
Bitcoin if you don't know who the guy's
talking to this guy who's supposed to be a Bitcoin maximalist, and he doesn't know how the price of Bitcoin got drove up. Who owns Bitcoin? Because there's 40% of Bitcoin is owned by just a few wallets. So it's kind of centralized now. Now, again, Bitcoin was the grandfather that started this whole thing, but now it's not doing what it was set to do. Okay, it was the grandfather, was the doorkeeper, opened up the doors, but now it's a lot of commercialization and centralization going on with Bitcoin, and it's just not, the coin itself is not functioning in a manner to where international transactions on a higher scale could happen. So Richard Hart just eats these guys apart. And at first I was like, why does he even bother? Because he's not going to change these guys. Why does he even bother? But looking at the interviews and the debates that he have, I'm so happy that he does them, because I learn a lot. And other people who are sitting in the background are able to watch this and make their own evaluations based on who has the information and who doesn't. Not only does he have information as a programmer, he's not a programmer, but he's done so much within this industry. He understands the programmability. He understands some of the inefficiencies in this industry with programming, and he understands money. So let's go ahead and listen. This guy said it doesn't matter who drove the price up.
Driving the price up are to go find more of them.
Care about the price. See, this is why I asked you the question.
You're sitting.
Now this is funny. He said he doesn't care about the price, but in the 2-hour video, he says that he staked Bitcoin with some company, a third-party company, which we're not supposed to do. When you stake Hex, you're not staking with a third-party company. You're staking in your MetaMask. It's you. You're in control of your stake. You can end it at any time. There's penalties if you end it before the time that you set. But guess what? You set your time, a month. You can set it for days. You can set it for 30 days, 360 days. The longest you can set your stake in Hex is 5,555 days. So if you guys see 5555 in the family cash machine, you know what that means. That means 15-year stake. That's your children's. You can do $200-$300 or whatever. I'm not a financial advisor, but I'm just going to say whatever you want to stake, you can stake it for as long as you want. But let's say you made a stake for 15 years. Do you know how much this coin could be worth in 15 years? In the manner that it's made as a deflationary coin? We're not going to get into all that right now. But again, these guys are not qualified to do debates. They're not qualified, definitely, to go against Richard Hart. And they're not qualified to be teaching other people. This is why I have a school. Because this guy here obviously is a Bitcoin maximalist. He feels like he's such in a position where he can challenge Richard Hart. He obviously has a following, but he don't know what he don't have the basics about crypto. He really doesn't. So let's go ahead.
Sitting making no yield on your Bitcoin stack with no capital efficiency, like a dum-dum. Why?
I don't believe you need yield. I don't believe you need yield. So
what is he talking about? He doesn't believe in yield. Man, my mother told me it's best that somebody think you ignorant than to open your mouth and remove all doubt. You got a stake. You have your Bitcoins locked up for 15 years. I think he got his Bitcoin locked up for 10 years. He can't do nothing for 10 years, but he said, I don't care about yield. Okay, so you're saying you're locking your Bitcoin away for 10 years, but you don't care if it makes any money? That don't even sound right. That sounds stupid. I mean, he's just trying to oppose Richard Hart in any manner, in anything, in any fact or opinion that Richard Hart has. He wants to oppose it. That's what he's showing me. He's not even thinking about what he's saying. He just wants to go opposite to whatever Richard Hart's saying. And you got to be careful with that. This industry was not made for that. This industry was made to grow, to evolve. This is technology. Satoshi Nakamoto left the code open. It's open source. So anybody can expand it, enhance it, build onto it. And that's how we got Ethereum, because those Bitcoin maximizers did not want to explore the technology, and Vitalik Buterin was forced to leave and explore the technology, which is the beginning of Ethereum. So all this tunnel vision, this is not good for the advancement and innovation that we have called blockchain technology or cryptocurrency. We have to be open-minded. We can't be closed-minded, because Richard Hart is going to make a point that Bitcoin doesn't have a lot of things that now is available in other cryptocurrencies. So let's go ahead and let's play this.
You could buy more Bitcoin with yield, bro. You know Michael Saylor just took leverage? Michael Saylor just took leverage to buy more Bitcoin.
Good. And he's been doing that from the beginning.
Do you know how you go broke? Ladies, liquor, and leverage. He's doing the thing that you and I just said is a stupid, terrible thing, trading. He's taking on leverage. If the Gox coins come out and he gets liquidated, guess what that does to the spot price when he has to cover and sell it? If you want to mine Bitcoin, you have to suck middleman D, period. You're not even allowed to do it in China. It's illegal.
Don't try and conflate that Hex is a competitor to Bitcoin. Because
it is.
As far as I understand.
It is.
Really?
Yes.
So you believe that the world at some point is going to converge upon Hex as a standard of money that the world should operate on?
You're looking at a big S-curve staring you at the face with elongated...
So now he's telling me, basically, in the 2-hour interview, this guy said that, he said it a couple times and it disturbed me. He said that it was a shit coin. Hex was a shit coin, but now he's showing me he doesn't even understand the functionality of Hex. So if you don't understand the functionality of something, how can you define it? He called it a shit coin earlier. It's not in this little splicing that I have, but in the 2-hour video, he called Richard Hart a scammer, and he said he called this a shit coin. But you don't even know what this coin does. You're not even knowledgeable as to the functionality of the coin. So how can you make an accurate or any analysis of it?
Cycles and limp dick pumps. You got basically negative returns annually right now. My Rolexes have outperformed you. All the meme stocks have outperformed you. All the coins have outperformed you. You're holding the top of an S adoption curve. Do you know what happens after the top of the S adoption curve? Everything just goes flat, man, which is why your returns are flat. It depends on what aspect that you're looking at. You do.
He's talking to, this is another guy who asked him a question. But that first guy was saying he don't care about yield. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I didn't get into this to not make money. And I didn't get into my people into this. I don't want my people to learn this to not make money. Let's just get it real. Everybody wants to make some money. A lot of money is involved in this. There can be so much. I think this industry has created more millionaires in the last few years than any other asset. It's one of the best growing assets in the history of the world. And like Richard Hart was saying, Bitcoin is not the one right now, you guys. All the money has not been made on Bitcoin last few years. The money has been made on those other coins, the Shiba Inus and all those coins outperform Bitcoin. Now, I personally don't suggest that you guys get the Shiba Inus and stuff like that. But the point is, these coins are making more money than Bitcoin because individuals are buying them relatively cheap, and the percentage of appreciation is astronomical. The Dogecoin as well. All these different coins have outperformed Bitcoin. So for this guy to say he doesn't care about yield, I mean, I get it in a sense. Like we said, this technology has so many other facets and reasons and characteristics that can help humanity as a whole. And like, let's just say, for instance, remittance fees. Remittance fees is money entering in and out of different countries. That's a huge, huge, huge feat. And a lot of people who are sending money home, if they live in America and sending money home to wherever they're from, Mexico or El Salvador or whatever, they're losing a lot of their value with these remittance fees. Guess what? You don't have that with cryptocurrency. So it's doing a lot of good things in the world. But again, who's going to participate in an industry that's not making any money? Who wants to hold an asset that's not creating any yield? I mean, that's just ludicrous. But again, he just want to say anything to oppose Richard Hart instead of, admitting to the truth and admitting to things that any business person wants yield. I mean, duh. I mean, you're going to put your coins for a 10-year hold and not make any money on it? Come on, man. Well, come on now. You just want to oppose Richard Hart.
If you want to earn yield in Hex, you can buy Hex from the hundreds of thousands of people that have it, lock it up and earn yield. But if you want to earn yield in Bitcoin, you got to suck 2 or 3 companies' D's to beg them for a mining hardware machine and hope they send it on time. Certain aspects of my system are vastly more decentralized. They're furthermore more secure, which is why we've never had an inflation bug. Ethereum's never had an inflation bug. Hex has never had an inflation bug, but you guys have had 2. Have you read the critical vulnerabilities list of Bitcoin Core? It's very long, and there's been a ton of them. Do you know why they're called critical? Because they're really big screw-ups.
Okay. Irrespective. It doesn't matter.
Now, look, this is interesting. He keeps saying it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how much yield. Now he's saying that the critical list that Richard Hart is pointing out to him, there's a list called the critical something list. I'm not a programmer again. And he said he hasn't read it. And it doesn't matter. This guy here is ridiculously crazy.
They're all probabilistically irrelevant.
Do you know it takes 9
probabilistically irrelevant? It's probably it's probably irrelevant. Well, why do they call them critical? He's going to tell you why they call it.
Months to on-ramp a new Bitcoin developer because the code is spaghetti code? No, but we should have got it because computers got faster and throughput got faster.
Not at all.
Yes, they did.
That's. I mean, that doesn't matter. Like all.
You see what this guy keep doing? Are you telling me that computer speed doesn't matter? When in the crypto, what's called the crypto manifesto or anarchy. Okay, manifesto anarchy, crypto anarchy manifesto, excuse me, by Timothy C. May, which was written in 1984, which is the guy who brought together all these cryptographers, including Satoshi Nakamoto. All of them were a part of the mailing list that Timothy C. May created. And in that, he talks about this technology being possible now because the computer speed is increasingly fast. It's becoming faster and faster. And it's allowing us to create this encryption. It's allowing us to do these type of transactions and to create this cryptography and this blockchain technology and decentralization. This guy just said, oh, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Computer speed doesn't matter. And that's why I'm saying he's not qualified. And he needs some classes. He needs to learn. He really needs to learn. Instead of, self-educating himself, there's certain things he needs to learn.
All of that is irrelevant.
So everything in the world gets faster and more throughput except Bitcoin because it's a magical exception. It can't make progress.
No.
There's no base demand for Bitcoin. It's a speculative investment. It's a risk-on investment. When the stock market dies, Bitcoin dies. When the stock market goes up, Bitcoin goes up. Bitcoin's dropped 85% 4 times. It dropped 65% in 2 weeks for COVID. Don't tell me it's the blue chip when you only outperformed Dogecoin by 10%. And you didn't even actually outperform it. Dogecoin is still up versus Bitcoin.
I don't care about blue chip.
I don't care about blue chip. You're holding your coins for 10 years in a third-party company that you can't even get access to, but you don't care about yield or blue chip. You don't care. Come on, man. He's lost everybody who's even interested in cryptocurrency. Everybody who is interested in cryptocurrency, they want to make some money. Nobody wants to come into this industry to not make money. So you're not even speaking the language of the people here. But Richard Hart handles it. He handles this guy. He handles not just him. The commentator was very biased. I noticed that he continued to cut Richard Hart off and tell Richard Hart to allow these guys to make their point. But he didn't stop those guys from disrupting Richard Hart when he was making points. I noticed that. It was very biased how it went, how it actually went.
You're once again framing my position on Bitcoin.
Well, I'm glad one of us is, because you're not doing a good job framing your arguments.
No, I don't care about the gains that are involved in Bitcoin. Like, I'm not here.
Don't you understand that money is a war for liquidity, and the most liquid money is more useful? Don't you understand that? Why do you have 2 inflation bugs and Ethereum has 0? Tell me, software guy. Why does Ethereum have bug bounty program and you don't? Why does Ethereum have 10,000 developers and you have like 5? Because your stuff sucks. I don't understand why you love miners. They sell Bitcoin. They buy hardware from weird foreign manufacturers and enrich electricity companies. They sell the Bitcoin price down. They hurt the Bitcoin price. I removed that negative externality.
I don't care about the Bitcoin price. I don't care about the Bitcoin price.
Can we have anyone listening at home, could you please raise your hand if you care about the Bitcoin price? Okay, I care about the Bitcoin price. You know what else I care about? The price of almost anything that I'm associated with. I care about all the prices.
Yes.
What are you, man? Are you a hippie? Why don't you care about prices? What's wrong with you, dude? You don't like getting deals? Is there something mentally wrong with you if you don't understand how important prices are?
The fact that I'm so early on something that is going to take multiple decades and multiple...
I want to stop right there. You notice they're going to different points. This is not the whole interview. I'm just showing you little pieces of the interview and some of the things that were so idiotic. And these guys are supposed to be the experts, and some of the Bitcoin maximalists who are judging Richard Hart and claiming that he's a scam and our coin is a shit coin. But you can't even explain, certain things, why you're locking your coins up and not making yield. Why are you locking your coins up in a third party? That's what this industry is about, is removing the third party and keeping everything peer to peer. Now, Richard Hart is just destroying this guy. He's intellectually spanking him when it comes to development, when it comes to functionality, when it comes to money. In fact, I'm not showing it in this clip, but they asked them, the narrator asked them the definition of money. This guy didn't even have a definition of money. He was mainly explaining, like digital transactions more so than the definition of money. What is money? This is what you learn in a family cash machine. This is what you learn in a cryptocurrency college. Most people in crypto can't explain money. There's either a bunch of developers or either they're just business people that want to make some money, but they can't explain what money is actually. And so the difference between money and currency and how money really works, we need to know that. That's very relevant in this industry. It's very relevant in the world, period, to understand how money works and what money really is, because most of us know how to use it. We can tell you what it is, but we can't really go down to all the characteristics and function of what defines money versus what defines currency, because they're both two different things. Okay, so he said he's early in Bitcoin. He's not. Bitcoin, you missed it. Bitcoin is not the one no more. I told you guys, its functionality is almost obsolete in a sense that there's other coins that's doing things that Bitcoin's not doing. But Bitcoin had the capability to do it all, but they didn't want to explore with Bitcoin. The developers did not want to explore. So other developers broke off from Bitcoin and started using the technology to create other aspects of what this technology could do. There's so many things this technology could do. And so you're not early with Bitcoin. Bitcoin, you kind of late. But you can't get into this technology as early. This technology of Bitcoin, of blockchain technology and decentralization is early. But Bitcoin, you're not early. You're kind of late on Bitcoin. And, that's why it's really no yield there. It's very little yield. I mean, it looks big because it goes from 20,000, it goes from 40,000 to 60,000. But how about you get a coin that goes from 0.0000, like 0.8 of a penny, all the way to 60 cents? You know what the range of that is? You know what that is? That's over 1,000,000%. So the gains are really not there as it is in some of the newer coins. But you got to be careful, because there are some bad coins. You got to understand. That's why you have to take classes to learn how to pick the really good functionality that this industry needs, that the people need. But let's go ahead and finish it up.
I get the opportunity to be early on that because this is a multi-generational transition.
That's fine, bro. You're the person that we make fun of. We take you and we take your chart, we make fun of it. We put the two charts next to each other and we cuckold you and we say, look, we're banging the mad gains while you're watching wanking in the corner. You guys are the guys that are outperformed by everything in crypto. You guys are the guys that have no gains. You guys are the guys that have no on-chain exchange, no anonymity, no stable coin, no hope of a roadmap for the future. You guys have your strike lightning guy shilling fiat. And you can't get disengaged. You can't get jaded. You can't give up on people. You have to keep trying. And I'm telling you, I designed something to get thousands, hundreds of thousands of people to do what you did. Because I designed something that mechanized and game theory mechanic improved their behavior. What do you think the average stake length in Hex is? What do you think the average stake length in Hex is?
I don't know.
It's Nobel Prize worthy. It's so long it'll drop your jaw. In the history of finance, there's never been any product that's ever been designed where people have locked up hundreds of millions of dollars, billions of dollars now, for an average length of 6.37 years. You cannot, if you make to get an average of 6.5
years. What the fuck? What are you talking about? I don't understand how that works.
Well, you time lock your money. The average time lock in Hex is 6.3.
Okay, that's very important.
At least I don't think
stop it right there.
You know who just drove the price up of Bitcoin over last week?
Hold on 1 second.
No stable coin, no hope of a roadmap.
I want to stop it right there. Richard Hart just showed that Bitcoin does nothing. It has no functionality. Whereas Ethereum has smart contracts. All these other coins, you can now have your own cryptocurrency from Ethereum. You can create your own. There's a couple other companies doing it now too, like Waves, Cardano, you can Tron, these different platforms all evolved after Ethereum. But Bitcoin could have all those functionalities, but these guys don't want to explore the technology. They don't want to grow. They want to stay right here. And that's almost like staying in the Model T Ford, the first car made, and not evolve to Porsche and Mercedes and Lamborghini and Bugattis. And that's what they're doing. They're staying ancient. But Richard Hart is pointing out that you guys are getting left behind with that philosophy because technology grows, everything evolves, nothing stays the same. And so I thought it was quite interesting that he said, oh, what is that? When Richard Hart talked about, we got the average of 6 years now is the average stake is 6 years. And he said, well, what is that? How does that happen? How the heck did that happen? He doesn't even understand the functionality of Hex. Again, he's showing you when Richard Hart talked about the average stake period for Hex is 6.5 years. He was befuddled. He was like, what do you mean? How do you do that? Because he doesn't know what Hex is. He doesn't understand it's a deflationary coin. Okay. Every time you buy Hex, guess what? Those coins are burned. You're locking up your coins in your wallet, you're staking. They give you T-shares right now. Those T-shares are tracking your interest. And then when you end your stake, guess what? Those T-shares are burned and you're getting new coins, boom, sent to you. So again, every time you buy coins, coins are being burned. Wow. You're getting the T-shares that tracks your number of your interest. Then the T-shares are burned. So eventually we won't even have T-shares. There'll be B shares because the T represents trillions. Coins right now are in the trillions, but eventually they'll be in the billions. So we'll have B shares. When the T-shares are gone, guess what? You won't make as much interest But guess what? When you get the B shares, the coin value will be higher. So everything in Hex is created to create value. When you have something that's growing and people are buying it and the supply shrinking and demand growing, it creates value. It's just that simple. It's elementary. And this is something that this is basic economics that a lot of programmers don't understand. And remember, that's one of the first things that a crypto is, programmable. So you mean that you can program a crypto to create value? Yes. You can create your own crypto and program it in a way to where it depletes in supply. And if you're marketing right, and if you're getting enough people to stake and lock coins, guess what? You're growing in demand, because now individuals are making money, because as the coin value, as the coin supply depletes and the demand grows, the value of the coin grows. Wow. That's what Hex is. He doesn't understand that because he doesn't know what Hex is. And by him not knowing what Hex is, how in the hell can he say it's a shitcoin when you don't even know what it does? It's functionality. It's paying people, rewarding people or individuals to delay their gratification. That's all it's doing. Same thing a CD does. But because it's not something that they can just make and keep printing and printing and printing, like the US dollar, it continues to grow in value. That's the other thing we don't understand in crypto. Most of us don't understand value. We don't understand value. Crypto is not money. It is value. This harness is stored on the internet. That's all it is. And with value, with something valuable, guess what? You can liquidate it for goods or services or fiat currency if you want. Gold, whatever you want. It's valuable. If something is worth $47,000 per coin, that means that's the US value of each coin. So again, cryptocurrency represents stored value on the internet, which is really the definition of money, that the characteristic of money, I want to say, in the definition, that's the characteristic that's not in the characteristic of currency. There's 5 different characteristics that currency have that are the same 5 characteristics that money has, but there's a 6th characteristic of money that currency doesn't have, and that is a stored unit of value. So again, a lot of people in this industry got to be taught, got to be trained, got to be retaught over again. Not really retaught, but taught some things they don't know. So we're going to go ahead and close this out. Again, I think Richard Hart did a wonderful, excellent job in you know, dealing with these guys and talking to these guys. It's very annoying to me how they try to dismiss him. It's very, because they're denying a lot of people a lot of good help. They're denying a lot of people. Like, if you were to lock your Bitcoin up for 10 years versus locking up Hex for 10 years, I think that you're making a gross mistake. I think that Hex is only 15 cents. So how much percentage when Hex get to $2,000-$3,000 for 15 cents? How many coins could you buy at 15 cents? And what would the value thereof be in 15 years once it hits $3,000, $4,000, $5,000? It's gonna hit that because there's, remember, deflationary. There's coins being depleted constantly. And I can, if you guys go to Twitter and you go to Whales Bot, it's called a Hex Whales Bot, and you go to that app and you'll see every day millions and millions of dollars of Hex being sold, bought, sold, bought, sold, bought. It's going down. And it already has created a lot of multimillionaires. So again, if you were to lock up for 10 years, 5 years, 2 years, I guarantee you whatever it is that you decided to do, it would be better than Bitcoin. I guarantee you in value. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't want to advise you on what to do. It's your choice. And every opportunity, every investment is a risk. It is what it is, no matter what you do in life. But I would be willing to bet. I'm not a betting man either, but I would be willing to, in my opinion, let's just say my professional opinion, the way Hex is designed to create value no matter what happens. Right now, they're giving 38% a year, 38% a year yield. Okay. That's not counting the price of the coin going up. You're getting 38% a year yield. That's not counting the deflationary coins being destroyed. That's not counting none of that. You're getting 38% a year. That number depletes when more people stake. Okay, you won't be getting 38%, but guess what? The coin value goes up as more people stake. So either way, anything that happens, it forces the value to go up. Okay, let's say less people stake next year. That means you're getting more percentage. Okay, let's say the coin value shoots up and a lot of people end their stake early. Guess what happens? There's a penalty. And when they're penalized, those that are continuing their stake, they share in the percentage of that penalty that the individuals relinquished. Wow. Now, why will someone get penalized? Because if you set a 5-year stake and you end it in 3 years, you might have bought the coin at 15 cents. You might have earned a percentage of coins during that 2 years from yield, from that 38% or whatever the percentage is, APY. But you might have a coin might be at $100 now. So even though you're getting penalized from that other 2 or 3 years that you were supposed to stake, the value of the coins that you already have are so tremendous and such a higher percentage of what you started with your initial investment, you don't care. I see that happen a lot. I see guys that might have spent $200 and then they're pulling out $20,000 or $50,000 or $100,000. So they don't care about that penalty, because if they would have won another 2 or 3 years, then who knows what they would have made. But they're willing to give that penalty up because they have such a huge, percentage of advantage in the price from where they started, their initial investment. They have such a huge appreciating total amount. They give up that. And that is shared amongst it. So I'm saying anything that happens in the Hex, people win it anywhere it go. I have a lot of people that know nothing about Hex. That's why I'm talking like this. I'm a part of a community of people who understand Hex and understand Pulse and all this functionality. I will be doing more videos to welcome a lot of my students into the Hex community, into the Pulsechain community, which is the same community, and into the Pulsex community. Pulsex is an exchange. And in fact, Pulse, Richard Hart created, will be launching within the next few months, I would think, is forking off of Ethereum and taking not just Ethereum functionality, but all the coins off of Ethereum, 10,000 coins, will be a double, a copy, with way less fees and moving faster. So now, if you have an ERC20 token, now you'll have a double PRC20 token on the Pulsechain network for free. The biggest airdrop ever in the history of the world. That's what I'm saying. We're making history. This guy is doing a lot of good things in this industry. I commend him. And I'm going to be in the Pulse community, Hex community. I don't see no time soon me letting up. I just see some of the smartest people in the cryptocurrency industry in this community. And that's why I'm in, because I see the vision and I see where it's going. And I understand the problems in this industry. And I see a lot of solutions with Pulsechain and Pulsex. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and sign out. This is Eric Brent, EB Crypto, Family Cash Machine. You guys go ahead and take our free course, the Phoenix course. Go ahead and pay for a class so you can really learn this industry, because there's a lot of people out there that don't want to pay. Like, I can learn this on my own. Yeah, you can. You can go on the internet and learn this on your own. But I'm going to tell you something. You're going to pay one way or the other, because you're going to lose some money if you don't connect with individuals that know what they're doing and been in this industry. If you just go out there and learn on your own, you can do that, but it's going to cost you. And the cost out there to get scammed could be higher than you paying for a class. Because what we do in a Family Cash Machine is when you buy a class with us, we eventually start putting you in Hex and the Pulses and other different passive income opportunities where you control your revenue, you control your asset. You're not using third parties. We strongly advise against anything where you got to use third parties. Okay, so we're going to teach you and show you how to make some pretty solid small investments and be earning a little bit while you're learning. And as you get more and more knowledge, you can get bigger and bigger investments. But you don't want to get out there and get ran over by a truck to learn. You don't want to lose 10, 15,000 as you're learning. You want to spend 200, 300 on a class, 1,000 on a class. But guess what? You're earning over here and you're learning the things to stay away from. And then eventually you're going to be in positions to make hundreds of thousands, if not millions, because people are doing it every day in this industry. It's all about what you know, who you're around. The circle of individuals is teaching you. If you can't be around these, like that guy obviously was taught. He was taught by other people. He has a circle, a huge group of people teaching him nonsense. He doesn't even understand how to break down money. He doesn't even understand the functionality of a coin. He's calling a shit coin. You can't call it, you can't assume it's a shit coin just because everybody else said it's a shit coin. And then you can't even tell me what the coin does. That doesn't even make sense to me. You're making yourself look like an idiot when you're defining something that you can't even explain. So again, we want you to learn right. We want you to get the right information. We want you guys to connect with the right source of people. We want you guys to connect with the right investments. And we want you guys to understand, if you do take a risk, you understand the risk and you understand what you're doing. You want to be out here, butt naked on the freeway, because this is one of the fastest growing industries in the world. It has some of the smartest people in the world, but they're not all good. There's smart people who are wicked. There's smart people who are bad people. There's the smartest people in the world in this industry, but some of them are doing things to the benefit of humanity as a whole. And some of the most innovative, technologies or methodologies in this industry that can create massive benefits for humanity as a whole. But again, everybody that's smart is not good. So you don't want to come into this industry not understanding and figuring it out on your own, because you're going to pay one way or the other, whether you buy classes or whether you take losses. And most likely those losses will be way more detrimental than just paying for a course. Because again, like I said, once you pay for a course with us, we immediately start showing you how to put your money in different things like Hex, and start training you, on how to stagger stakes and how to plan your stakes and stuff like that. So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and sign out again. Like and subscribe to our channel, and go ahead and take the free course, but also go ahead and pay for a course and start learning and connect with the Family Cash Machine so we can start teaching you guys how to really do things in this industry. So with that, I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye-bye.